watch, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, fuck the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated yourself, I never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me.
Coach, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
You ready? Set, watch out. Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. That's it.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Michel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Complete to Cameron Meredith. 4 yards on the pickup.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Completes this one to Meredith. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 34.
Ready? Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Protein spill.
They'll run it here. This is James Lane. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
2 yards. First down, Patriots.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Michel. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
And a Patriot first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw to Michel on the screen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And This one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
No, what's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey, check. Hey, 0, 0, 0.
Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
53.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And out across midfield down to the 45. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 45-yard line.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. Watch out, alert.
On 1st down, Carson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 46.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 47-yard line.
380. Check 53. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
2 yards leads to 3rd down and 14.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
You ain't doing nothing.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First down. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Patriots 3, Seahawks nothing.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Give me that ball, defense.
Here's Wilson to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Rivers in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's third and 16. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Joejuan Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, no doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
First down, Patriots.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, they run with Michelle. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. New England on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and 6. On third down, here's Harris. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
They'll set up to throw. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3.
Match box right. Check 15.
They'll run with Harris. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a third and 2. New England on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a third and 2. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Defensively, they rally the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. Bailey's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Dorsett on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0. But the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
On 2nd down, Michel. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Cedric Thompson on the tackle. A gain of 10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in our left. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack on first down, Wilson. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check. 53's mine.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. This is Michel on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The Patriots send out their punter. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
First and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Kill. Zebra. Let's go.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now it's Carson. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check right.
2nd and 5 now. Wilson forced out to his left. He'll run it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
A gain of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Michelle. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. That one good for 13 and a New England 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And it's Michel once again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
High 7. Ready?
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. Now Rashad Penny. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson, and he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
To throw is Wilson on 3rd down. Completes it to Dixon. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 39.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Alert.
Here's Wilson, operating from the gun. Dancing to his left. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's McKissick. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Got it.
53, check 53. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go, let's go. Here we go. Number 53, Mike 53.
From the gun, Wilson. Steps away, under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jason McCourty, a safety blitz and a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Myers connects on the PAT, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high-percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Michelle, 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who is on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning. And that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
53 to Mike. 53, check 53.
To try again after the sack. Wilson, and he's going to go down again. Derek Rivers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
36.
Mike, 53.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Michel. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Michel, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on first down. Michel, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Set, ready? 70, Indy. Mike, 54. Target. Ready?
On the ground, Michel. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, That looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire